Hi. Thanks for tuning in. While the show doesn't officially launch for another week or so, I could not help but record this. And you may have noticed there was no beautifully edited intro. There will not be an outro at the end. This is we're raw dogging it tonight, friends. And I'm saying tonight because it's night as I'm recording this. I just got out of my therapy session, and as I was getting ready for therapy, I was like, I want to take a moment and just kind of journal a little bit. What is it that I feel like I really want to bring to therapy? Because there has been a lot going on, both in my personal life and in the entire world. And what I realized in my journaling, I wanted to talk to my therapist about the anger that keeps coming up for me. And I'm not used to feeling pure anger. There's usually a bunch of other things going on at the same time. And I was going to Google a little bit about like maybe what Brene Brown says about anger. But I just wanted to get here and start talking to you because I am angry. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up with my therapist is that I've been drinking about it a little bit. So, just a nice check in to make sure that I don't overuse America's favorite numbing agent. Uh, okay, I'm laughing because I can feel my anger starting to bubble up again. And we talked about this in my session. I feel my heart pounding because there are multiple instances that have come up recently where I am just left really, really feeling like I am screaming into the fucking void. And now this doesn't apply to you because I get responses from you, and I know you hear me, and I know you hear that the reason that I come on here and I share these things and that I talk about everything and I'm vulnerable and put it out there and I make jokes is because you feel that way too. And I just keep having these moments though. The world at large, I feel like I am, and listen, and in some of my relationships, I feel like I'm screaming into the fucking void, and I just feel like I cannot be the only one who is drowning in this voicelessness right now. I had a meeting this week that I like couldn't even see straight because it was the exact same fucking meeting we had had a few weeks prior, and I had articulated the exact same things in nearly the same way, and yet I was still being misunderstood. And maybe the first time I could have owned that maybe I poorly articulated things or misarticulated things or whatever, but the second time around to have the same fucking arguments again, I cannot handle that right now. And I think it's also that everything is so heightened and I'm riding so close to the threshold so often that these things just, it is too much. I cannot believe that it is 2022 and I am worried about my reproductive rights. That whenever Jeremy and I think about growing our family, am I going to die of an ectopic pregnancy? What if I have a miscarriage? Will I have access to a DNC, or am I going to have to carry around a baby that is no longer growing, that is no longer thriving, that is no longer alive, until either I get so sick that they have to remove it, but what procedure would they do? Or I die, or eventually I pass it and it's just more traumatizing and more fucking harmful. And then what if I have a baby and it's a girl, and then her reproductive life is on the line? And I also want to own that, like, I also understand, and this comes up all the time, that like as a white woman with privilege, I'll probably be able to get access to the procedure that I need, but this isn't just about me. This is about all of us. And it is, it is not okay. It's not okay. None of this is okay. And there's been a mass shooting every fucking day, and children are going to school and being murdered. And I'm in a meeting where I'm repeating myself, and I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall, and it all became too much. So I drank about it. And as I was drinking about it, I I opened up to Jeremy about how I was feeling really angry, and I was like, I am numbing right now. This is the tool that I am using this evening to numb, and I don't know what else to tell you because I don't know what else to fucking do. And something else that's been going on recently is I opened up to Jeremy that I am struggling with my body image postpartum. I don't fit into my clothes. I don't feel good about myself in that way because I don't recognize myself. And as we head into summer, I live in New York. I have a limited summer wardrobe because it's only summer for a short period of time, and I feel terrible in everything that I own. And I will always preface things like this when these things happen between Jeremy and I is it was a misunderstanding because Jeremy is the most thoughtful, considerate, loving partner that a person could ever dream of. And he made a very well-intentioned comment that went terribly wrong, and I got very upset. And I have been saying things like, I don't feel great about my body. I think I need to get some new clothes. I think I need to buy a different size. Like, these things just don't fit, which makes me feel worse. And I've been saying these things. And again, I'm riding close to the threshold, and children are dying. And Roe v. Wade is like, we can't get, it's becoming illegal for us to have health care. And then I couldn't believe it, and I started crying. And Jeremy apologized because he never meant to hurt me. He is the best. And I said, it also just feels like I've been articulating to you that I'm feeling badly. And is there a disconnect that when I just say the words plainly, when I say them and I articulate them well, that you don't believe me? That you don't believe me, that even though I lay everything out there and I am really confident and I do have a tough skin, but that I'm never sensitive, that I'm never tender, that my feelings don't get hurt simply because I can articulate what's going on. And through this, I then got more worked up because I was flooded with memories of feeling like this so many fucking times in my life. The first time I really remember, I'm sure there are others, but these are the two biggest memories of this that I have in my life is when I decided that I wanted to have sex with my high school boyfriend. I knew I wanted to go on birth control first because I did not want to have a baby. I also had extraordinarily painful periods where like I had to miss the first day of school, I had to miss school the first day of my period because I was in too much pain and I might pass out. And so I spoke to my mom. I said I would like to make an appointment with my doctor. I want to talk about going on birth control, both for my periods and because I'm thinking about having sex with insert name of my high school boyfriend. And my mom was kind of shocked. And I said, okay. I was like, a lot of my friends are going to Planned Parenthood and getting birth control and not telling their parents, and I'm not comfortable with that. I want to see my doctor. I want to have that conversation. I don't want to do this in secret, and get medication. I don't want to do that. So just letting you know. And so then a couple weeks went by, and I checked back in with my mom, and I said, hey, did you make that appointment with my doctor? And she said, I was hoping you'd forget. And I was so upset. I was so disappointed. I felt so I don't know. I can't think of the word right now because I had asked and I said to her, I said, again, Mom, I could have just lied to you and gone to Planned Parenthood and gotten this on my own, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to lie to you. And I want to see my doctor and talk to my doctor about this and do this in a safe way. Like, not that Planned Parenthood isn't safe, but anyway, what did I know? I was 16, but I was like, I want to see my doctor. How dare you? And she made the appointment. I got the birth control. And then it was probably the next year it was high school, and I wanted to start seeing a therapist. I was crying all the time. I was really lonely in school. It was around the time, if you listen to my previous podcast, when all my dance friends stopped talking to me and my theater friends stopped talking to me because I was getting the lead roles and the solos and I was fucking talented at a thing I went on to do professionally, and everybody was fucking pissed about it because we're teenagers and they're idiots. And I felt really lonely and I wanted to talk to a therapist, which I knew about because one of my friends had been seeing a therapist for anxiety. And so I asked my parents, can I please see, like I was crying, can I please see a therapist? I want to talk to someone. And I'm not blaming my parents here. My parents have done wonderful things with what they have, but they wouldn't do it. They would not take me to see a therapist. And I kept asking, like, I feel like I really need to talk to someone, and nothing happened until at one point I said, like, what do you need from me? And I started crying. I was like, I don't understand. I'm telling you that I need something and you're saying no. And I was like, do I need to threaten to kill myself? Should I fucking kill myself? Should I try to kill myself? Then will you listen to me? Is it because I'm just asking that you're not listening? Do you need me to go there? I don't want to, but I need you to hear me. Why aren't you listening to me? And I am feeling that way now. How are we not being heard? How are there more people outside of the fucking gun convention than inside, and we're not being heard? How is it 2022 and we still can't get the medical care that we need because we have uteruses? I don't fucking understand. How is it 2022 and women of reproductive years are not taken into consideration in most medical trials because our hormones fluctuate so much that it creates too much of a complication that they don't even try to understand what is happening in our bodies. How is this still happening, and at what point will I ever stop feeling like I am screaming into a fucking void? It's a never-ending double bind. As a woman, if I articulate what it is that I want and I say it plain as day, I am not taken seriously. And if I lose my fucking mind and I scream and I shout, now I'm hysterical and I'm even more written off. And so in my therapy session, my therapist asked me to talk to my anger. This part of me that is so angry, to close my eyes and imagine I could talk to it and hear what it has to say and tell it what I need to tell it. And so I closed my eyes. I'm doing it right now. And I put my hand over my chest. And I took a deep breath. And I said, I believe you. And that's what I needed to hear. That's what we all need to hear. Because we feel insane because this is insane. And we feel angry because this is enraging. And after I said this to myself, I believe you, it all became clear. Now, again, I didn't have time to look up what Brene has to say about anger. And I can't recall anything, and feel free to email me or DM me with what you know about anger. But I see anger as a red flag. I see anger as it's like sending a flare up into the air to say, pay attention right here, stop what you're doing, do not pass go, do not collect $200, listen up, something, you need to pay attention right here. And I could see clearly that this anger for me right now, this like holy rage, is my work. This is my purpose. This was raising a flare and a flag for Alissa personally to look at and make sense of some things. But this is bigger than that. This is for us. I feel like I'm not heard because I'm not. And I feel caught with my hands tied behind my back because I am. And I am angry and I am filled with rage because this is enraging. That women we're still dying for our reproductive rights, and our children are dying by gunfire to protect guns. It's pure insanity, which is why it feels insane. It feels insane because it is. And I need you to know that I believe you. And again, I find myself sitting here thinking, like, am I crazy? Am I the only one? Am I taking crazy pills? I'm quoting Mugatu from Zoolander. Um, Appropriate timing, right? But Will Ferrell is like, "What, am I taking crazy pills?" That's what I feel like. And I know that I cannot be the only one. I know that I'm not. I know that you understand. I know that you hear me. And I know you know, and that you feel it too. There are tons of reasons for people not to listen to us, because to listen to us challenges systems that are in place that favor those who are in power. Listening to us challenges everything they know and all of their safety and their goodies. And people continue to abandon our voicelessness and abandon us and our children with thoughts and prayers. What I want to say to you, and I want you to know, and I'm also saying this for myself, I'm saying this for you, I am saying this for everyone who came before us and for everyone who is to come. You do not have to prove that you have a voice and that you have something to say. You do not need to earn a space to speak the truth. I am here with you in this like unscheduled, unplanned, this is not scripted. I am speaking to you from my heart and soul and the depths of my rage, voicing my holy rage, because this is it. This cannot continue. And this is my invitation to you to unapologetically voice the truth and your rage. I love you. I am here for you, as I know you are here for me, and we are here for each other. On June 13th, you will get beautifully edited podcast episodes with, listen, more truth telling and more truth bombs and the real shit. But I couldn't wait, and I couldn't put a pretty fucking bow on this, because this isn't about that. This, I needed to say this. I needed to record this. I needed to be heard.